Hey everybody, Coach Toolshed here, and today I want to ask a question to our buddy Pete Hines, the head of marketing at Bethesda. And Pete, I got a couple different theories, and I want you to tell me which one of these is correct. Are you just incompetent at your job, or are you trolling us at this point, or do you have dementia? Because just on Monday we got the announcement about the beta, and it was posted in your community forums, and I did a video on it the other day, and it says right here in your announcement on the community pages, starting in October, we'll be selecting people who have pre-ordered the game from a participating retailer to enter our beta. We'll start small and grow over time as we prepare for launch. Okay. What does that say? That says, once again, we will be selecting from people who pre-ordered the game to begin to enter our beta. We'll start small and grow over time. And then, of course, like I said yesterday, they added an edit saying that, okay, everyone who pre-orders will have access to the beta. But, so people started talking to Pete Hines on Twitter and started asking him, it says, well, based on your announcement, it seems like I might not have access to the beta until the final days of the beta. And so Pete comes on and he just starts launching all these answers back at people. And so he says right here, this is the Twitter feed from the same day that they made this announcement that I just read to you. This is the same day on his Twitter feed. Pete Hines, quote, if you pre-order, you get access to the full beta, start to finish. Well, that's not what your post says. Because this says, once again, I'll read it for the third time here. Starting in October, we'll be selecting people who have pre-ordered the game from a participating retailer to enter our beta. We'll start small and grow over time. Pete Hines, the same day. If you pre-order, you get access to the full beta start to finish. So which is it? And then the people go on Twitter, they say, Pete, that's not what the announcement says at all. And Pete starts firing back. Yes, it does. No, Pete, no, it doesn't. I understand you think that people aren't going to go back and check your BS lies from maybe past interviews or go back and read articles from 4 or 5 years ago to catch you in some of your lies. But Pete, this is announcements made the same day from your community forum and now on your Twitter feed, and you're contradicting. Do you think we can't read? Do you think our memory doesn't even last 2 hours now? I mean, I've been asking you this for weeks. Pete, how stupid do you think we are? This community announcement comes out and clearly explains that not everyone is going to be able to access this at the same time. And then the same day you come in and you're like, yes, it does. Everyone gets in full beta. And then he said, oh, stuff may happen prior to that for the full beta. And the people keep asking him on Twitter. They're like, well, what is this full beta? If you're pre-selecting people from the beta to participate in testing, then how is that not part of the beta? And Pete just started. Here comes Pete again. And he's dancing. And he's dancing. And he's Pete. Because that's what Pete and Todd like to do. They just like to dance around the answers. And I don't understand why they get all this credit from the games journalists, I'm using air quotes here, who talk about how candid and upfront Pete and Todd are. What are you guys talking about? This is just one more example of the mixed signals we're getting with this game. Now you can't even announce the beta. I start seeing these articles today. Bethesda clarifies the beta. Why does everything have to get clarified? Be clear the first time. Pete, you are the head of marketing. Figure it out. Because at this point, you seem completely incompetent. Or like I said, or you're just trolling us. Either way, you're treating us like we're the biggest idiots on the planet. With this crap. Stop being so back and forth with every single thing you're saying. What the hell? And people keep asking him, well, what does this mean? Smaller tests. He starts talking again. Again, I'm just talking about anything small they might do in the build-up to the full beta. Anyone eligible for the full beta gets into the beta when it goes live. So now we're talking about full betas, early betas, small groups of teams testing it out. Because, and they ask him, it says, then why does the announcement state that only some pre-orders will be selected first and that the pool will grow over time? And he says, because they might decide to test with a smaller group of testers prior to the announced date of the full beta to make sure they're ready for... So, if you pre-ordered under the assumption that you would have access to the beta, that was full beta, small beta, test beta. What's going on here, Pete? You guys have been taking pre-orders for over a month now. And everyone who you have deceived into pre-ordering your game was working under the assumption that they would have access to a closed beta before launch, because that is what you have said, and that is what is there if people go into the storefronts and look at this crap. And this person on Twitter keeps asking, and I give them credit because they just keep firing questions at him. And it says, so starting in October, the prior groups start in October and everyone else will get even less time in the beta. So that means the value of our pre-orders are arbitrarily decided by your selection criteria. Some people will definitely not play for as long as others before release. And then Pete goes, if we need a smaller group to do a test separate from a full beta, in order to make the beta and the full game as good as possible, we are going to do that. When it's time for the full beta, everyone's time in it is the same. Pete, enough with this. What is this talk with the full beta now? What is with you guys dancing around everything? And then Pete has a tweet that's really interesting. He says that the small group testing could take place just sometime before the full beta. It could take place 5 days or 3 weeks before the beta and still be in the same month. Oh. So there he is hedging his bet. So you can guarantee when he says that closed test might be 3 weeks before the test and still be in October, you know what that means? That means that the beta, like I said in my last video, they're going to try to hide it when Red Dead Redemption launches. They're going to have their little closed beta with their hand-selected people, which Pete assures us will be random. Pete assures us it will be random. I'm sure. I wonder if there's a list of people that I could think of off the top of my head from YouTube that will definitely have access to that beta. I wonder. And then Pete closes it out with his classic just way, gotta dig at us idiotic fans who, we just don't know what we're talking about. He says, just making sure, because he's talking about, he wants to clarify things. He goes, just making sure in case someone reads my replies and freaks out. Which happens, smiley face. Yeah, Pete, people do read your replies and freak out because you guys can't get your stupid idiot story straight. At all. You guys literally make the announcement and then you have to hop on Twitter right away and start doing damage control. Because you guys have no concept of what you're doing. Give me a break with this crap. I don't want to keep doing these videos, Pete, every day, but you guys are making it too easy. So now that's what we know. We know that they're going to be randomly, quote-unquote, selecting people to participate in another beta before the actual beta or the test phase full beta because, they want to get the game just right. And then Pete comes in at the end and says, oh, yeah, well, we can start selecting names at the start of October and then still get everyone in the full beta, 5 days to 3 weeks, in the same month. So you know what that means, guys. That means they're going to have this closed beta at the start of October after they pull their names, probably the first week of October. They'll have their little private test with their small little hand-picked group. Which, like I said, I'm sure none of us can guess anyone who will be part of that group. I'm sure it will be totally random. And then, Pete didn't say 3 weeks for no reason. That's in there for a reason, so he can use that as his little escape hatch later and be like, I said 3 weeks. Which, yes, will put you smack into the launch window for Red Dead Redemption. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run the thing out on October 27th for the beta. That wouldn't surprise me at all. The day after Red Dead. That wouldn't surprise me at all at this point. Because like I said, I feel like Pete Hines is just trolling us at this point. Either that, or he's the most incompetent guy in charge of marketing that I've ever seen. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen him this bad. He's had his moments over the years, but damn, this is just hitting whole new levels. And then he's got to sit there and troll the fans once again, act like we're the idiots. Because they're giving us mixed signals. Don't want anyone to freak out over my replies. Pete, get your story straight. I'm tired of having to read clarifications directly after you guys make a statement every time now. Oh, we want to clarify. Be clear the first time. And we wouldn't have to deal with this. And I wouldn't have to keep making videos talking about how incompetent you are. Alright, that's it. I gotta go. I'm Coach Toolshed. I'll talk to you guys later. As you can hear, I'm turned to 11 again. I invite you all to get turned to 11 as well. I'll talk to you later.